Dear students, I welcome you all. I have started a new chapter from your physics portion, which is titled here as Light, Reflection and Refraction of Light. So, this is the very first lecture from the first chapter of your physics portion. Dear students, in today's lecture, I am going to discuss with you about the reflection of light. Before defining this term, reflection of light, we should know what's a light. In the earlier classes, or when you were in class 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, you might have heard about this light as well as the reflection of light. So light is basically a form of energy that provides in us the sensation of sight. Got it here? That means it's that source of energy which makes us able to see the objects. Now, what is reflection of light? Dear students, a reflection of light means bouncing back of light rays after hitting any surface is called refraction of light. So, in other words, we can say that when a ray of light coming from any source, whether it is sun, it's candle, it's any object, it's lamp, etc., and it strikes with any surface, it strikes with any surface, it comes back. So, this coming back of the light rays, when it strikes with any surface, this is termed as reflection of light. So, we can here describe this reflection of light as a phenomenon. So, this is a phenomenon by which a ray of light changes the direction of its propagation. Changes the direction of its propagation means movement when it strikes a boundary or when it strikes a surface between two different media. Got it here? Through which it can pass. For example, light is coming through air from the sun and it strikes the wall of your room or the wall or of your classroom, and this light, after striking with the wall, comes back. This coming back or bouncing back of light rays, dear students, this is termed as reflection. You need to understand this point. There is a difference between reflection and refraction. So reflection means coming back, bouncing back. When a light ray falls on any surface and it comes back, this bouncing back, this coming back of light ray, this is termed here as reflection of light. Dear students, if the surface is smooth and shiny, the light will reflect at the same angle at which it hits the surface. This is termed here as regular reflection. So there occurs regular reflection if the surface on which the light strikes is smooth and shiny. The light ray or the light rays will reflect at the same angle at which it hits the surface. Such type of reflection is termed as regular reflection. Got it here? Dear students, if the surface is not smooth, but if the surface is rough and uneven, then some light rays may get absorbed while others may reflect at varied angles. This is known as irregular reflection. So there occurs regular as well as irregular reflection. Regular reflection occurs with a surface which is smooth and shiny, while as the irregular reflection occurs with the surface which is rough and uneven. I think you got it here. What's reflection of light and what's regular and what's irregular reflection of light. Dear students, here I have made a diagram here. This is a plane mirror. So it is represented by a straight line with the short oblique lines from back side. That means this is the painted side. So this is a plane mirror which is always in your homes. So it is represented here by M dash. Dear students, here is a ray of light, AO. A light coming from any source, suppose from here we can say from source A, it touches the mirror at point O. So AO is the light ray that strikes with the surface of this mirror. This is termed here as incident ray. Or in other words, we can say a ray of light which falls on the surface of mirror, which falls on any surface, not on the surface of mirror, but falls on any surface. So AO, it is a ray of light, it strikes with the surface of the mirror. So this here becomes incident ray. Got it here? Dear students, being the reflected surface, this incident ray, it goes back in the same medium, or it reflects back in the same medium. Here, this ray, suppose AO is the incident ray which falls on the surface of mirror, and it goes back into the same medium, that's OB. So OB here, dear students, represents the reflected ray. So incident ray is that ray which falls on the surface of mirror. Here in this diagram it's AO, and reflected ray is that ray which comes back from the surface of mirror, that's OB. So OB here represents the reflected ray. Dear students, there is an imaginary line between the incident ray and the reflected ray, which is represented by these dotted line. Here dotted line ON. So ON is an imaginary line which is here termed as normal. So, in other words, we can say normal is an imaginary line that is drawn at the point of incidence at right angles. Here, I would like to add that AO is the incident ray. The point at which this incident ray touches the mirror, this is termed here as point of incidence. Got it here? So this normal ON, it is drawn at this point of incidence at right angles. Got it here? So AO is the incident ray, and OB जो वापस जाती है यहाँ से, this is a reflected ray, and ON, dear students, it is the normal. Now there are the creation of angles. You got it here? इंसिडेंट रे और नॉर्मल के दरमियान एक एंगल क्रिएट होता है, इसी तरह रिफ्लेक्टेड रे और नॉर्मल के दरमियान एक एंगल क्रिएट होता है. जो एंगल यहाँ पर इंसिडेंट रे और नॉर्मल के दरमियान बनता है, डियर स्टूडेंट, दिस इज टर्म्ड एज एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस. वी कैन से द एंगल दैट्स फॉर्मड बिटवीन द इंसिडेंट रे एंड द नॉर्मल, दिस इज टर्म्ड एज एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस, एंड इट इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय एंगल आई. गॉट इट हियर? सिमिलरली, जो एंगल यहाँ पर रिफ्लेक्टेड रे और नॉर्मल के बीच बनता है, दिस इज टर्म्ड हियर एज एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन. इन अदर वर्ड्स, वी कैन से द एंगल दैट्स फॉर्मड बिटवीन रिफ्लेक्टेड रे and the normal, this is termed as angle of reflection, and it is represented by angle or. So dear students, in today's lecture you got the introduction about this chapter, that's the reflection of light, what's reflection of light, what's regular, what's irregular, what's incident ray, what's reflected ray, what's normal, what's angle of incidence, what's angle of reflection. Inshallah, in the next lectures we will describe it uh, in a nice way for your better understanding. Till then, Allah Hafiz.